feel like many of us are going through very intense transformation processes right now. Like a lot of friends I'm talking to began this year with some kind of intense, maybe even painful experience of loss or disappointment, having to let go of some desired outcome. And just generally speaking, I can sense this very kind of heavy energy collectively right now, almost like lead, very dense, very slow, very resistant, as if something is kind of weighing us down, trying to hold us in place, but also like a little bit like pressing on a gas pedal and on the brakes at the same time, you know? I don't know about you, I would just really like to know how you're feeling right now, but I can kind of feel like there's a movement wanting to happen, like a pull towards change, really, and yet at the same time there's this force that seems to restrain it, and I perceive this tension as very exhausting. For me personally, I started this year, I felt like this kind of fresh energy, like this breath of fresh air, like for one moment, and the next day, total setback, total exhaustion, total kind of feeling of being stuck. And like this back and forth is so exhausting, but it's also so exhausting because I have like, and lots of us have this image in our head that movement and progress always has to be linear, which is total nonsense. When we look into nature, we see that movement change is cyclical, and I feel there's this shift unfolding right now. Last week in particular, I don't know about you, but last week really felt almost unreal to me. I sat like in my office at work and I felt like almost dissociated, and I often felt this kind of groundlessness, like as if familiar reference points are dissolving. And I mean, for me personally, that's also very much the case because of all the change that has been going on in my life. But also looking around in the world, I see this kind of dissolving of familiar reference points, and that can be quite frightening, right? I have these phases where I feel energetically very entangled with things, thoughts, emotions that are just pulling me away from my core, almost this centrifugal effect, you know, where I'm choosing kind of distractions or negative beliefs especially, instead of choosing myself. And by that I mean choosing the present moment in the here and now, like relaxing into each moment, into each also rising discomfort, and especially relaxing into fear. Because the most difficult part about fear and anxiety isn't the feeling itself, it's the resistance to it, right? So I would compare it to kind of pushing a ball underwater, yeah? The harder and the deeper we push it down, the more force it actually gathers, and eventually it just will burst back up, and often right into our face. So, you know, what I remembered last week, when I felt so alienated, is the power of not just looking, not just smiling at fear, which is a very Buddhist approach, but really getting to know it, really getting to know your fear, your discomfort, everything that we label as negative or unwanted. So not just looking at it, labeling it, smiling at it, but like really meeting it with curiosity and openness, and really studying it and getting to know it. So in my opinion, that's what choosing yourself truly means. And it's like a micro attunement to each moment, each rising thought, each rising emotion, and we can practice that. there is so much power in relaxing into what wants to make us tense, into what wants to harden us. We all long for safety and comfort. There's nothing wrong with that, and that's deeply human. But growth and expansion, and that's also nature, growth and expansion can only happen if we allow our comfort zone to expand as well. And I always have to imagine the belly of a pregnant woman, right? It softens and it stretches and it makes space, not by force, but by allowing. So this is a very feminine energy. It's one that lives in every human being. This is not about gender. And it's about an archetypical quality of being, like the capacity to soften, the capacity to listen, to receive, and to hold complexity without immediately needing to dominate or to resolve it. And in my opinion, this archetypical feminine energy that is in every living being, as I said, that energy is what the world needs most right now. It's a world that has been shaped for so long by just constant forward pressure and need for control. There's just, there's, in my opinion, just a deep need for counterbalance here. So just on an individual level, whenever discomfort arises, whether it's anxiety or fear or excessive longing or craving, or anything that just makes us feel powerless, whenever an energy like that comes up, instead of fighting it, instead of trying to control it or pushing it away, let it be there. That's just, I woke up this morning, again, I felt this really heavy, dense energy, this dark fog, and instead of resisting it, I just told myself, it's okay. It's okay for it to be there right now. It's okay for me to feel like this right now. I don't have to resist it. And then I try to look at it with curiosity and with openness, and that just changes everything. Everything. Welcoming the unwelcome, right? I'm trying, in these situations, I'm really trying to feel it in my body, because oftentimes we're so disconnected from our bodies. And most importantly, recognize that by doing this, you're taking your power back, because you're no longer resisting the experience, but you are allowing it. It's like kind of remembering that you are the sky, and your emotions, your thoughts, your narratives, your negative beliefs are like clouds. They are not you. Choosing yourself means coming back to the present moment again and again, becoming aware of awareness again and again. So if we become really finely attuned, like almost on a micro level, we begin to notice how we're actually trying to escape the present moment. How often, like, our mind already is reaching for like a certain outcome, like instead of fully being here and fully meeting what is. And that includes everything, like restlessness, anxiety, fear, whatever. And getting to know these states directly without immediately trying to alter them, to change them, it's a very radical act. Because presence asks us to stay with what is rather than pushing toward what should be. And I feel like this very heavy energy many of us are feeling right now has a lot to do with that. It's this kind of push-pull dynamic. Something on a larger scale is already shifting and moving forward, and there is just a current, pulling towards change, but at the same time there is resistance, right? There is clinging, and there is this inability, or maybe this fear, to fully let go. But you can't force letting go, so, tension builds. Also collectively, metaphysically, these are the final weeks of the wood snake, right? Before the fire horse comes in, which I feel like the energy already kind of just coming in waves. But this time is really a time of deep inner shedding, of intuitive sensing and pausing rather than acting. So it's like the slow loosening of the skins that have grown too tight around us. And I feel sometimes like really this old skin is tightening again. It's like this last kind of asking you, my old negative beliefs, they really are kind of showing up so fiercely again. And I feel like I've actually already outgrown it, but then it comes and no. Like basically this old skin is a symbol of an old version of ourselves, maybe a version that used to outsource its sense of value or its sense of home to something or someone outside of us, right? So I read this quote today that said, like, sitting in the void of what was and what will be, it means trusting the darkness or something like that. And that's just, I feel like, the point right now, the void between what was and what will be. And that really stayed with me today, because this in-between space, it just feels so uncomfortable. It feels empty. It feels stagnant, even though it probably isn't. It's just the resistance that makes it stagnant, actually. It just feels also directionless and groundless. And it's very tempting just to skip this part, right? This uncomfortable part of void and groundlessness, and just to immediately kind of fill it with distractions again, or kind of I let go, so I'm just now on to the next thing, the next goal, like the next kind of news story, something that gives us hope for a better future. But that often just becomes another layer we put on too quickly. And to truly shed an old skin, we need patience. And I just want to encourage us, you, me right now, to just pause and have the courage to pause and to feel into it, and just to be patient. We need to trust the space in between. Trusting the space in between. The space where nothing seems to move forward in a linear way. I feel like there is this very quiet, dark, mystical energy at work. Also, like looking into nature right now, there's this feeling of, my God, stillness and emptiness, and nothing is moving. But things are preparing, right? Things are pausing to prepare. And in spring, and also when then the year of the fire horse will officially begin, we need to be ready. Not to make like more pressure, but I think it could be quite intense. And for me, it really helps to connect myself to nature, to the seasons, to the wisdom of my ancestors and our ancestors. All those that were before us, that were more connected to nature. And really remember, nothing is wasted, nothing here is wrong. The skin will loosen when it's ready. And when it does, what emerges won't need to prove itself. It won't need to perform, because the fire horse, the fire energy, will ask for authenticity, right? So, and what's happening right now is that something is growing in truth, not in haste, and that will show itself when the time is right. So yeah, that was my little monologue for today. And I'm looking around in my apartment right now. Everything is pretty cluttered, also because my son was with me for a long time now. And I didn't try to push or to force myself now to make everything kind of clean and tidy and to start decluttering everything immediately, because I feel like I want to declutter. I want to bring like fresh energy into my space and let go of what isn't mine anymore, like also on a just material level. But I really feel like this need for just pausing and just for allowing myself to feel exhausted, right? I just hope I can inspire you to do the same, that you give yourself permission right now, if you're feeling exhausted, just to feel into it and to allow it to be there and to understand what is happening on a larger scale, on a collective level here. So I think I will take it very slow. I will maybe cook something inspiring today, or just maybe take care of one little corner and try to, tidy that up. Nothing big. I will take it one step at a time, right? So.
January bears its teeth, and I know it'll bite my throat if I don't act immediately. The air's so cold it hurts to breathe, so I wait till the days get warmer. It's not worth the pain and effort now. I hold my breath, I'll wait it out all patiently, and sit at home and forge my swords into new, more useful things. I'm all too tired of bloody battles, and I run out of minor chords in desperate attempts to cast out faint and fading versions of a soul that's obsolete.